organization, I would like to welcome you today to the Willow Rock Energy Storage Center site. I know it's cold. If folks get uncomfortable, we'll keep this fairly quick. You're welcome to get back on the buses. We also have safety glasses and masks if folks would like a set of those as well. What we'd like to do today is just provide folks a general sense for where the project is being proposed. We currently are on the southeast corner of our 100+ acre parcel. The parcel does extend beyond on the other side of the highway and railroad tracks. We're not going to be utilizing that portion of the parcel. Our site will be on approximately 88 acres to our north and west. Highway 14 is over to our west. Dawn Road is to our south. There is an exit off Highway 14 at Dawn Road, so we have excellent ingress and egress to our site. That will be paved as part of the project as well. We do have some fact sheets that I know folks have seen. The majority of the facility will be on the east side of the site. We will have 4 125 megawatt trains. These are compressors and turbo expanders with associated heat exchangers and other equipment. We'll have pictures and more details when we get back to the hearing site and provide more detail on both the project and our technology. But we did want to provide folks with a sense of where the project is going to be located, what our environment is here, our neighbors. We have a highway, the Union Pacific Railroad tracks, again Dawn Road and Highway 14. Any initial questions from the crowd? We do have some core samples as well. Yes.
You originally had a site on the west side, further over this, and why did you go here?
Good to see you, John. Thank you. We did have a prior site that we were developing. Part of our project, a critical part, is the construction of our subsurface caverns. We'll talk more in detail about that. We need to construct about 1 million cubic yards of subsurface volume in bedrock. The prior site off Sweetser Road and Tehachapi Willow Springs Road, the geology was not suitable to host a 500 megawatt 8-hour project, which we are targeting for Willow Rock. It is suitable to potentially site a smaller project, but in terms of hosting our target capacity, it was not sufficient. We relocated to this site, and the geology is ideal for us. We've been drilling out here for over a year. We've drilled 6 total boreholes to a depth of about 3,000 feet below us. Some of these core samples, again, are representative of the rock formation about a half mile down, 2,500 feet down, which is our approximate cavern horizon. That's where we'll be building out our cavern volume right below our feet. Yes? Yeah, the nearest receptor for this site is 4,000 plus feet, and the prior site we did have residents in much closer proximity. This site does provide a much more sheltered location from a viewshed perspective and from local land use as well. We do not expect it to do so. There have been studies done, I've been part of them, on prior power plant projects across the state, and evidence to date that we've seen does not have a significant impact. The Energy Commission is our host today for this site tour and hearing. They also have done some studies. I invite you to get their feedback as well.
I have a quick question. Have you done any pilot plant work in another facility, or do you have another facility like this in a different kind of environment?
We do have one commercial facility in operation today. It's much smaller than what's being proposed here, but it has been in operation in Goderich, Ontario, Canada for about 5 years now. It's providing reliability services to the Ontario grid operator, and it is a proof of concept, but it is also a commercial facility that is again performing similar reliability services for the grid operator. This will be the first full-scale commercial facility that we are constructing in the United States. We do have a sister project advancing in Australia as we speak. It's a little bit smaller, but this will be our flagship project for North America, and we're very excited to bring it here to Kern County. Yes.
Since your drilling so deep, we're between two big earthquake faults. How's that going to affect it? Earthquake faults. Earthquake faults. Because the Entropy and the Santa Grace.
That's a question we do get a lot. The seismic activity is obviously ever present in Southern California. We are designing our project to meet the appropriate stringent seismic codes applicable to this region, and the subsurface construction and cavern activity will actually be down in bedrock where the seismic waves are much less active, or the safest place to be during a earthquake would be in our caverns, according to our geologists. We do have, yes, Everett, you want to?
Yeah, maybe I can answer this question and the previous question. So we moved from the previous site because the rock type at depth, it was much weaker than what we have here. So for example, the core samples that you have here, that's about 17,000 psi, pounds per square inch. To give you a context, steel is approximately 60,000 psi. So we are like around third as strong as steel. And when seismicity or seismic impact hits that rock, it attenuates pretty quickly. So like Kurt said, we have analyzed the likely impact of seismic event on the subsurface shafts and caverns, and it's going to be pretty minimal. And that comes from numerous case studies from underground mines and tunnels, that rocks are typically unaffected, structures and rocks are typically unaffected by seismic events. But everything on the top side, 100 feet and above, they might get impacted, so that's why we'll follow all applicable seismic codes for construction in California, which is basically the state of art in seismic design globally.
We will have opportunities on the bus back at the hearing site for any and all questions folks want to ask, and we're more than happy to field anything that folks want to get smarter on. So, any other questions while we're here? Let me ask our Hydrostor representatives to raise their hands so folks can understand who they can ask questions. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us at any point today. We're all friendly folks and would love to meet everybody and answer all your questions. If we don't have any more questions, our next stop will be Holiday Rock Quarry. Again, when we produce, when we construct our cavern, we will have excess cavern rock, granite, and our recipient for that rock will be Holiday Rock Quarry, and we'll take a ride up there along our haul route and take a quick tour of their facility. Thank you. And it is a proof of concept, but it is also a commercial facility that is again, performing similar reliability services for the grid operator.
Bathroom, do whatever they need to do sort of on their free time. And then there's also a scale. So this is somewhere where they can batch concrete or weigh rock that's leaving or entering the site. And then we'll head out to the middle of the site where we're actually creating the final product. On the left, you can also see our concrete batch plant. Yeah, and I'll hand it over to Chad now.
All right, hi, I'm Chad Warren with Holiday Rock. Welcome to our facility. We are an active mining operation, so there are obviously safety protocols that we have that we'll need to stay in the bus for the time that we're on the site here. As Sam said, this is kind of where you enter the site, but it's kind of the last step of our process for what we're currently doing here. So the building behind me here is our scale house. That's where we weigh the materials as they leave the site or come into the site. Sam said our concrete batch plant is over to the left. And then as we move forward, we're going to be kind of going backwards through our process. So we can go ahead and start moving forward here, and I'll kind of narrate a few things along the way. So this facility has been in operation since at least 1971. Some of the original approvals for it date back to 1971. The Holiday Rock company purchased this facility in 2008, and we have also acquired some property around it. And so we have approximately 420 acres total here of this site, and we have a process here where we mine sand and gravel from our quarry and process that into the components that make concrete. So over here to our right is the final step of the process, where the rock and sand are separated and cleaned and prepared for use in concrete. So this is what we call our wash portion of the plant. So this is where the material makes its final processing stop along the way and is turned into the individual size components. We want to veer to the left. Size components that are used in concrete. So for those of you that may not know, concrete is a mixture of cement, rock, sand, and water. If you're thinking of it as a chocolate chip cookie, the chocolate chips are the rock, the sugar is the sand, and the flour is the cement. So that's what contributes to a concrete product, and the rock and the sand are what is produced at this facility.
So we're the chocolate chips?
Exactly.
Hydrostor chocolate chips?
Hydrostor chocolate chips.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So we'll continue, again, we're going backwards in the process here. We'll go back to the start of the operation and kind of give you guys a glimpse into what a load of rock might see coming from the Hydrostor facility onto our site, and then completing its process, completing its steps through our process, and ending up in a load of concrete. Yeah, just continue.
What's going to happen? Rock's going to be delivered.
This is my favorite picture.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so Chinese. I like organization. A place for everything and everything in its place. Oh, I was on camera. I have a terrible place.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, we're going to turn just
Scatter.
I don't think we're going to look back onto
Right here?
Actually, we can go to the right. Sorry, to the left of that and turn right.
Like this, coming back.
Yeah, we can stop and look out at that area.
Yeah, look at this.
How are they going to
They can have like an elevator shaft that we drop that down on.
Stopping here?
Yes. All right, so we are at the beginning of our process, the end of our property here. We are at the northern limits of our facility, and so this is where we initially mine the rock and sand. Over to the west, that is our active mining area. So we push the material from this bank down into a pile. Our loader picks it up and introduces it into our primary feed system. That material then is transported via conveyor belts through the various steps in the process, where we begin the size reduction and separation into the individual components. For comparison, our pit depth here is about 90 feet below existing ground surface. So we're just a little shallower than the 3,000 feet or so that you guys are planning on going. But we have a large facility here. We have an ability to bring this rock on site, integrate it right into our existing operations without adding any other components or steps to the process, and basically give this rock a second life as a finished construction project or product to be used in Kern County. And we ran the plant today. We're obviously shut down. It's the end of the day. Our folks start early. It seems to be a requirement of our industry is get up early and get to work before the sun comes up. So everyone has already wrapped up their day. But this is pretty much what our facility looks like on a regular basis. We are regulated by several agencies with respect to safety and environmental compliance. We receive regular inspections from federal and state agencies, and so we can't cut corners in any of this stuff in terms of our people and our compliance and our ability to operate as a good steward of the area. So we will kind of continue back along our line here. So as I said again, the rock would be brought to this far into the property, introduced into the process, and just blended right in with the existing materials that we already mine. And one of the nice things, this is some newer equipment we put up over the last several years, and one of the things that we really did was minimize the need for a lot of diesel powered mobile equipment. We put the material into the
follow
feed.
the line? Sorry, can you follow the line?
Yeah, can you
To the left,
yeah, just the left a little bit. Once the material is introduced into the plant, it travels via conveyor belt all the way to its end location, and it's not touched again with a piece of mobile equipment until it's either put into a truck to be transported off-site or moved over to our ready-mix concrete plant to be used in concrete. So this is just a closer look at some of our equipment. This is one of our main conveyor lines here.
It's so pretty. I love it. I mean, it's a pretty smooth roller coaster. Not too exciting, right? Oh, laying on its side. Right, yeah. Yeah, isn't it cool? I didn't know this about here either.
I think the side business of a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We're on the right track here.
I think it's coming back. It's just because I leave a lot of dust there.
Yeah.
So that's why I also don't drive. I can drive fast. So I can see it's over now.
So Marty's doing the same drawing.
Yeah, we covered that.
The other two commissioners are on the other bus together.
That's the perfect bus to put Marty in.
Yeah. Oh, goody.
So this is where we kind of have a transition in our process where the material sort of ends its journey in a dry state, and as it enters into the last state of the processing is where we introduce the water to wash it and make it clean enough for use in concrete. Concrete has cleanliness requirements for aggregates to be used in it, and so this is where this process takes place.
My best friend in North Carolina, they own the largest concrete.
Well water.
You got your own well?
We have wells on site, 3 of them, and then anywhere from 300 to 500
A
feet.
lot about concrete.
And then
Worried that this thing might have hurt your wells?
we recycle all of our water. We reclaim it as we use it in the washing process.
Is that what these ponds are for?
Yes, exactly.
Is your washing a spray or a dip tank?
It's spray with static tanks for the final washing of the sand, the fine aggregate portion. Yeah, so I think that that's our site. We do appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come look at this. You know, we first got involved with this project, and as interesting as it seemed, the more we've learned, the better it's gotten.
Just like to add something. Could you please stop? I can't.
It's like the brakes.
I'm not well balanced. So before we left, I just wanted to give a kind of compare and contrast this site with the rock that will be incoming. So these guys are mining sand. Sand is mostly silicate, right? Silica. Granite is also mostly silica, although in a different form. Oh, okay. Is it better? Okay. So granite, most of granite is quartz. Quartz is a form of silica. Then feldspar, which is again another modified form of silica. So chemically, there is not much difference between, you know, what these guys are producing, which is sand, and what we will be putting out here. If anything, quartz and feldspar, they're slightly stronger because they have been subjected to higher pressures and temperatures in terms of geological history. So they would be slightly stronger, so they will lead to a better concrete mix eventually. But chemically there is no difference. That's all I wanted to point out. And then one more thing, you might have seen some water on to the right and left. That's basically the aquifer. So the aquifer depth at this site and our site are pretty similar. It's almost consistent regionally in this area, around 30-35 feet, and the bottom of that aquifer is approximately 60 feet. So those are the two comparisons I wanted to bring out to your notice.
Do you have the domes like how Portland and Tehachapi cement have the? I don't know. The untechnical term is dome.
I think
Like
that's
the
Dome.
Yeah, so we don't produce cement.
Yeah, we do not produce cement here. So
Okay.
those operations produce cement, which obviously you can't hydrate it, get it wet before you actually mix it into the concrete. So
it's called. What's the technical term?
a dome, yeah, yeah, cement dome. You nailed it.
I was thinking of different domes.
Okay.
I was thinking like a salt dome.
So to summarize, we are bringing up about 1.3 million cubic yards of solid granite from our 2,050 foot depth cavern over time. And that rock will go onto the dump trucks that you're going to see on the right over here. As Sam mentioned, that this is an example of their newest clean natural gas burning dump trucks. If you could pull forward just a wee bit. They'll go onto those, come to this facility in the back, where Chad mentioned, and become part of the process of making concrete aggregate product instead of being wasted in a landfill. And we did have a question up here, I don't know if you guys heard it, but it was asking also about the water, and that water comes from 3 groundwater wells on site, and the water is recycled and reused as part of the process. Do you want to add anything else? Are there any other questions before we move on? Oh, yep, go ahead.
What created the sand and gravel deposits here? Are we on the side of an ancient riverbed?
This used to be like a
Right, that ass.
mid-continental ocean. So that's where the sand comes from. But some of the stratified sand that you see like 20-25 feet below, that's like weathered bedrock. So the granite that you saw, if you subject it to weathering for millennia, it turns into this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this This deposit is an alluvial sand and gravel deposit, which means it's been eroded from mountains and transported down into its current position. And so nature kind of sorts it and separates it out. It gives us a bit of a head start on it. Yes.
Quick question. Since it is part of a alluvial setup, and we have a gold mine to the east of us and a gold facility over here, have you ever done any sampling of your wash material to see if there's any trace amount of gold in it? Just curious.
No comment on that. I cannot confirm or deny. No, a lot of the gold here is in, yeah, it's in the mines. It's in the hard rock portion of the mines.
There's the one.
Yeah, we've looked.
Good
answer. What's the gold mine show on National Geographic? Oh yeah, if anybody watches Gold Rush, this ain't it. This isn't Big Red. All right, that concludes our holiday rock tour. We're gonna go to the Whirlwind substation that is owned and operated by Southern California Edison.
Have you been in the town?
We have secured an interconnect agreement, a LGIA, for 500 megawatts at Whirlwind substation, and it's been operational for some time. The first time I saw it, I was blown away. It's pretty cool. I look forward to going there. Yeah, you're gonna go. We're gonna go down Mojave Chapter, right? Or Chapter what? No, I mean, and it's an hour. He might be off work soon. Denver. Yeah, that's right.
Size, relative consistent in color.
Here we are. This is Whirlwind Substation, Southern California Edison's station. Our plan is to have what's called a POCO, point of change of ownership, on a private parcel we've acquired just to the north behind the bus over here. And we're working closely with Southern California Edison right now to engineer exactly that POCO, that change of ownership, and where it's going to come in, but likely over here to the right, like behind us, behind the bus, where you see all these towers, these bays. It's going to come in over there. That's what we're engineering and working with SCE on right now. So this is just a quick stop to show you this pretty magnificent and relatively new substation.
So we're going to bring this in on telephone poles?
Big transmission lines, 230 kV. About where is the transmission line proposed to go underground along Rosamond Boulevard? We've passed all three opportunities. I'm sorry, I was trying to find my notes here. The first time it goes underground going from west to east, it's about 140th Street, where it's going to cross over from one side of Rosamond to the other side, so it's got to go underground in the right of way. Same thing at 120th, it goes from one side to the other side again, underground. And then again, the last time at 100th, and this is due to the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power facilities that are existing there, and we must go underground. Sorry it took so long. Station, Southern California Edison's station. Our plan is to have what's called a POCO, point of change of ownership, on a private parcel we've acquired just to the north behind the bus over here. And we're working closely with Southern California Edison right now to engineer exactly that POCO, that change of ownership, and where it's going to come in, but likely over here to the right, like behind us, behind the bus, where you see all these towers, these bays. It's going to come in over there. That's what we're engineering and working with SCE on right now. So this is just a quick stop to show you this pretty magnificent and relatively new substation.
So we're going to bring this in on telephone poles?
Big transmission lines, 230 kV